So Sunday afternoon, all the kids met at our house for a meeting. And somehow it turned into Vicky needs to fire a firearm
And then just look in the face.
for the first time ever.
You don't want to look super close. You don't want to be super close or else it's going to come back. So you're just going to kind of tip your head over. Close your left eye.
Your other left eye.
Is that enough distance from my eyeball?
I'd go back a little more to be safe.
Here?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm about to get hurt.
Safety is right here. You see it says safe and fire. So we're going to put it on safe. And then you're going to take your mag right here. Grab it. Keep it.
You just load it. I've literally never in my life
There's like
fired
4 or
a
5
gun.
rounds in it, so.
Never have fired a gun. Not big, not little, not anything.
Here's what you're going to do.
I fired a Nerf gun.
You
Wait,
take-
let me get my ear stuffed.
You don't need those.
Oh, I do.
Mom.
Come, let me put that in. Double ear protection.
As if you don't stand next to burnouts all summer long. In your mouth.
Say something.
Hello. Pick it up. Oh, yep. Just like that. Yep.
At this point, I'm thinking, what could possibly go wrong?
All the way out and then just let go of it. Okay.
It's only gonna fire one time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about this.
You're fine.
Oh, I'm so scared. Holy cow.
You got 4 more.
She's aiming a little high.
And then I'll just take it. No, I think
That's
there's
good.
still one. Yeah. Hit it.
That's a lot. I don't know if that's something I could get into. That's a lot. It's weird that much power comes out of that. Like you could just feel. I'd rather stand beside burnouts all day long than do that.
It turns out Vicky firing a weapon wasn't the most dangerous thing we would do the rest of the afternoon.
Oh shit. Oh! Did he hit his head? I think so. Are you? Oh, did you hit his head? Oh. Are you seeing stars? Go help him. Oh shit!
You should have wore a helmet.
Oh!
Ow! It's a good thing it was snowy and not like gravel, or else the back of my head would probably be split open.
Oh my god.
Luckily, everyone survived the Sunday evening shenanigans behind the shop. But Monday morning, it was time to get back to work, and the dogs were definitely ready. I have some errands to run this morning in Pataskla, so I went out this morning with the dogs to let them potty and fire up the dually and let it warm up. You know it's pretty bad when 32 degrees feels warm, but anything warm enough to melt the ice off the roof feels wonderful at this point. I needed to clear all this ice off the truck bed so I could go get a skid of pellets this morning, and the dogs didn't offer any help whatsoever. They're always willing to ride though. So anyway, I need to go in, pick up wood pellets at the hardware store, visit with Homer for a minute, and I've got some plexiglass ordered in there to cover the new folding table in the merchandise shop. So thing 1, thing 2, and myself head towards town in the dually. It's sure nice to see blue skies and feel a little bit warmer temperatures for a change. We made it to the hardware store right about the same time Kenny made it to the shop and started clearing ice off the walkway out front. And the fuel oil delivery showed up again today. It's been awfully cold and I wanted to make sure that I had it topped off just in case we run low. When I got inside the hardware store, I found old Homer had me fixed up with all the plexiglass that I'd ordered. And when I brought it home, Kenny Powers wasted no time bringing it inside and getting it installed on the table while I worked on unloading the wood pellets off the back of the dually. I had just finished up my chores about lunchtime when I got a text from a friend of mine, Austin, from Automotive in Columbus, said he would be in the area today with something that I really needed to see. Well, I said, well, let's go to lunch. Stop by. I'm here at the shop. Well, it didn't take long. I got a text, hey, I'm hopping off the interstate. I'll be there in a few minutes. Well, I kind of figured he had something in mind that I might want a video. And sure enough, he brought the shop truck with him. He came in, and he and my brother hit it off. That was the first time they'd ever met. But if you know anything about Austin, you know that he's never met a stranger. Now, if you've watched this channel for any length of time, you already know how near and dear to my heart that 55 Chevy is. And Rich and Austin at Lucor are the only people I would ever trust to touch that car outside my family. They've done so much work for us anytime we've needed anything fixed, or when we're in a time crunch and we've got more than one thing broke down at a time. Anything and everything from bump steer kits and custom alignments to full front suspension rebuilds and ring and pinions. So when Austin pulled in that 65 C10 short bed today, I had to check it out. It's a small block, 4-speed, half-ton short bed pickup. And of course, Austin and my brother hit it off really well. They're both like automotive pack rats, if you will. So while we went to lunch, Jeremy went to pick up some welding supplies, and Kenny Power stayed there at the shop and painted all the bed supports and started working on putting the brand new shocks on the rear of the C10 chassis. Once Kenny had the rear shocks installed, he started working on cleaning up the differential and installing the new rear end cover. And when Jeremy got back from the welding supply store, he started working on the floor pans again, welding them in and grinding out the welds to make the floor pan nice and smooth. Unfortunately, the bolts that came with the differential cover were too long, so we'll have to go tomorrow and get some shorter bolts for it so Kenny can finish installing the cover and fill the differential with gear oil. Shortly after Kenny finished up for the day, Tommy showed up to help Vicky on the computer with the Shopify system. And Jeremy, he continues to work on these floor pans. I promised him today from here on out, he will be the one to order any sheet metal. I can't wait to get this thing back together because this bed is going to look absolutely gorgeous. I'm so thankful to have Kenny here helping us. He always does such a great job. So Monday night after dinner, I went out to the shop to work on one of my monster trucks for a little while. This gorgeous 67 C10 on a Monster GT 8.0 chassis. Miss Vicky, she had other plans. She came out to visit me in the shop to discuss something she had just witnessed on YouTube.
What are you doing?
Working on stuff.
Well, I just got done watching Billy's video.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, he looked pretty defeated. And I'm worried. Is there a game plan? Like, what's going to happen?
I ordered him a set of pistons months ago. Months and months ago. For a 6-inch rod engine. I had no idea and would have never guessed that engine he bought from Minnesota had 5.7 rods in it, 5.7 inches long instead of 6 inches long. I don't think anybody checked them, and Billy just went ahead and put the pistons on the connecting rods without checking the length, which I'm sure he figured they were 6-inch rods.
Right.
I did too.
I mean, who knew?
I didn't know. Obviously, Billy didn't know. So he put all the rods and the pistons in it and turned the engine over, and then realized, uh-oh, they're down in the hole, like a lot.
Like 3 days worth of work, and he's feeling pretty defeated, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, so he needs a set of 6-inch rods. I told him that last night.
So, can we get 6-inch rods?
I don't know if he can get 6-inch rods or not. I've got a set though.
Just sitting around?
Him, yeah, I've got an engine. It's one of his old engines that I kept. It has basically a brand new set of Molnar rods in it. It was one of his engines that we had a long time ago that something happened to a piston in it, and he just shoved it underneath the workbench, and it's been here ever since. But it's got the set of connecting rods that he needs are in it, and they're very low use. There's nothing wrong with them.
So how do we harvest these?
Well, I stopped working on my stuff.
Uh-huh.
All right.
All right. Come on.
All right. So I drag this old small block out from underneath my workbench and get it up on the engine stand. Basically what this is a dart block with a Molnar set of rods and a Molnar 4340 steel crank. This is an old Shaffer-off engine that Billy bought years ago, and we had wounded the block. It has a crack in one cylinder wall, and we just don't feel comfortable using it anymore. And I think it might have one piston wounded in it. Anyway, the crankshaft and the connecting rods in this thing are mint. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. So, there's no reason not to reuse these parts, which is why the engine is still laying around here and wasn't scrapped a long time ago. So, I go ahead and start pulling the crank and rods out of this thing and putting them in the parts cleaning tank. As I pull the engine apart, I inspect each rod bearing for any signs of abnormal wear. But every rod bearing in this engine still looks like new. I found no evidence of any damage to any connecting rod, wrist pin, or rod bearing in the bottom end of this short block. That's a very good sign that Billy should be able to reuse these connecting rods without any additional machine work or loss of time at the machine shop.
It's a boy.
Once I had all 8 connecting rods and pistons up in the parts cleaning tank, I cleaned everything up nice and neat. That way when he gets them up to the machine shop tomorrow, he can just go ahead and pull the spiral locks out and be ready to go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that it?
Yep.
That's it. That wasn't too bad.
Send the bill to Little Enos.
Little Enos.
Burdett. B-U-D-E-B-U-R. Gotta know.
I'm getting sleepy. Are we almost done?
We're almost done.
Good.
So, we're almost done for the day. I'm going to go ahead and upload tonight. I was planning on waiting till tomorrow to upload, but I got a little bit of footage from Sunday and I got a little bit from today, and then Miss Vicky, the slave driver, I was out here working on my monster truck, and she had other plans. So, one thing I want to mention before I get off here for tonight is that I've already begun getting emails about, do you think I'll have my stuff this week?
Oh.
Do you think I'll have it tomorrow? The answer is no.
Nope.
No. No. Okay, so we're planning on going Friday, that's this Friday, down to Gina Rose's shop in Martin, Kentucky,
To get it.
to get the first batch of merchandise. Now, how many orders was there? There's almost 2,000, I think. 1,500?
Something like that.
It was a lot, okay? A lot. So,
Which is great. Thank you.
yes, we're very appreciative. But like I said in the beginning,
It's a pre-order.
it's a pre-order. You're going to have to be patient. However, Friday, me and Vicky are going to go down to Gina's and pick up the first load of merch in my mom and dad's little enclosed trailer and bring it up here. And then it's probably going to be an all-night, all-weekend blitz on folding and organizing.
Yep. We will crank it all out next week.
We're going to try and crank it all out next week as far as the first batch of merchandise. There's a lot. I mean, ungodly. And we're very thankful. We didn't know how this was going to go. I didn't know if this stuff was going to sell. I didn't know if anybody wanted it. I didn't know.
But thank you.
But thank you very much. So we're going to be slow getting this stuff out. I'm not even going to have it in my hands until Friday. That means next week at the earliest, we'll be able to start shipping orders out. And Harley is ready. She's been ready. She's been more than ready because the kids have been off school for weeks.
With all these snow days and stuff.
Yeah. So definitely Harley is ready to get out of the house and start working. So next week we'll start shipping orders out. Now I will say, and I'll warn you guys right up front, that the orders that had hats are going to take a little bit longer because the hats are like a week or so out.
Yeah, so we're going to skip the orders with hats, and we'll come back to those as soon as we have the hats. They just take a little bit longer than the other stuff.
So if you ordered a hat, expect a little bit of a delay, longer.
But hang tight, we'll get there.
But we will get to you. If you're sending me emails asking if you're going to have your stuff this week or next week,
we can't reply to all those individually, so
there's no
this
way.
is just your answer.
There's no way. So this is your answer. I don't know if you'll have it by Valentine's Day. I don't know.
No, because Valentine's Day is like Monday.
Okay, so there's your answer.
So no.
You got it from her. She said no. So hang tight, guys. Put a card in the mail or something if you had a Valentine's present that you've ordered. Look, this is why I didn't do this before Christmas, because I already knew that would be a disaster.
Yeah.
So don't worry. We'll get to you.
We will do our best.
We're doing our best. But keep in mind, this is all new to us. We didn't know we're going to have this many orders, right? All right.
All right.
Are we done?
We're done.
No, I'm going back over to work on my monster truck.